Another undercover video, an even more outrageous and gruesome depiction of Planned Parenthood's alleged sale of body parts from aborted fetuses. This is Special Report. Good evening, welcome to Washington. I'm Brett Baer. For the second time in 8 days, a pro-life group has released a video purporting to show a Planned Parenthood official haggling over price for body parts from aborted babies and laughing about it. It is reigniting calls for hearings, penalties, and financial retribution toward the organization, which again today came out swinging in response. We have Fox team coverage tonight. Ed Henry looks at the response, or lack of it, from Hillary Clinton and other Democrats. But we begin with correspondent Peter Ducey and a second dose of some pretty difficult medicine. Hi, Peter.
Good evening, Brett. The debate about abortion is usually when does life start, but tonight the debate is how much for this body part, with one Planned Parenthood executive hoping it's enough for a fancy new car.
It's been years since I've talked about compensation, so let me just figure out what others are getting at. If this is in the ballpark, then that's fine. If it's still low, then we can talk about it. I want a Lamborghini. I don't want a Lamborghini.
That laughter-filled lunch with Planned Parenthood's Dr. Mary Gatter was secretly filmed by actors with the Center for Medical Progress who wanted to share with the world the way Planned Parenthood operates behind the scenes.
I would like to know what would make you happy, what would work for you.
Well, you know, in negotiations, the person who throws out the figure first is at a loss, right? So.
The group settled on $100 as a starting point for livers, hearts, or brains from an aborted fetus. And that's before their entrees even arrived.
So I'll have the beef salad. The beef salad. And can you throw some chicken on that?
Yes, ma'am.
The coarseness of the tone, the fact that, you know, they could be eating their salad and swilling their wine and laughing and making jokes about the fact that they're selling dead baby parts is outrageous. And what's even more outrageous is the fact that the taxpayer is funding Planned Parenthood to the tune of $500 million a year. Dr. Gatter later goes further, explaining abortions can be performed gently to preserve high-priced body parts.
I'll mention this to Ian in terms of how he feels about using a less crunchy technique to get more whole specimens.
Planned Parenthood insists they don't profit on human tissue, and the group defends itself by saying that, quote, these videos are part of a decade-long campaign of deceiving the public, making false charges, and terrorizing women and their doctors, all in order to ban abortion and cut women off from care at Planned Parenthood. Religious groups say Planned Parenthood is just trying to change the subject.
Instead of answering the questions that we are asking, namely, are you in fact profiting from the sale of these body parts, and are you changing the medical procedure in order to get better body parts, instead of answering those questions, they're trying to attack those who made these videos.
I've searched the Planned Parenthood website for fetal baby part prices, but can't find them, because until these videos came out, these transactions had been Planned Parenthood's well-kept secret.
Peter, more on this with the panel. Thank you. As we have seen, the response from Republicans, pro-lifers, even Planned Parenthood itself has been swift and forceful. But it's just the opposite from Democrats running for president and courting the pro-choice vote. Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry tonight on what we are not learning.
After a week of revelations, Hillary Clinton has said nothing about the Planned Parenthood scandal, despite waiting mere hours to weigh in on Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump's comments about Senator John McCain.
It's shameful, and so is the fact that it took so long for most of his fellow Republican candidates to start standing up to him.
Critics today noted Clinton and the rest of the Democratic candidates are not standing up to Planned Parenthood. Republican presidential candidate Fiorina today called out Clinton by name.
Democrats have always fought for a policy that says it is not a life until it leaves the hospital. Hillary Clinton has fought to preserve that policy.
Republicans are pushing to cut off taxpayer funding for Planned Parenthood when Congress returns in September, with conservatives declaring leaders in both parties have a moral obligation to speak out.
There is no reason that we should have the type of cultural cronyism that goes on where politicians and bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. choose to funnel our tax dollars to these types of controversial organizations.
Yet none of the Democratic candidates are offering any comment to Fox. An aide to former Virginia Senator Jim Webb, a more centrist Democrat, told Fox that Webb was asked about the controversy and replied he did not watch the videos. Aides to former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley, who's Catholic, did not respond. No comment as well from former Rhode Island Senator and Governor Lincoln Chafee. While Senator Bernie Sanders on Friday fell back on repeating an apology from Planned Parenthood's chief.
I think Cecile Richards apologized for the tone of that video. I think her apology was exactly right. I think that staffer tone was terribly wrong.
Unlike the presidential candidates, Senate Democratic leader Harry Reid today was willing to go on camera with a defense of Planned Parenthood by citing the benefits of human fetal tissue research.
In fact, a Nobel Prize was awarded because of this. These politically motivated videos raise some questions, but nothing I've seen indicates Planned Parenthood violated federal laws.
Now, another possible reason for Hillary Clinton's silence, her campaign has received nearly $10,000 from employees of Planned Parenthood, though in context, that's a tiny portion of the over $40 million she's already raised. Brett?